Hey guys, what's up? So here we are again with another Corrupted Gauntlet combat achievement, and this time we're going to be doing Wolf Puncher 2, which means that we need to beat the Corrupted Gauntlet, but we can only make one Tier 2 weapon. So we can have like a Tier 1 weapon and a Tier 2 weapon, but we can have as good of armor as we want. So what we're going to focus on for this combat achievement is making pretty decent armor and lots of food, but we're only going to have a level 1 weapon and a level 2 weapon. And this is going to be part of the Earn Your Master Defender Hilt combat achievement series, where we earn enough combat achievement points to finally get that new Master Defender Hilt, along with all the other rewards that come along with it. So if you've been learning a lot from this channel, or you've been having fun or sticking around for a while, throw me that like, throw me that sub, and let's go beat Wolf Puncher 2. Okay, so as I was saying, we can only make a single tier 2 weapon and a tier 1 weapon. So technically, we don't even have to kill one of the demi bosses because we're not going to make one of the perfected tier 3 weapons, right? So if we get lucky and find some minions right off the bat that happen to drop us some weapon frames, we can actually skip the demi-boss entirely. But it's going to kind of depend on RNG, and it looks like we're getting a lot of supply drops right now, or I should say resources, rather than monsters and weapon frames. So that's actually okay, because we can make as good of armor as we want. As much time as we're allowed, we can just keep on upgrading our armor. So we're probably going to make at least a full set of level 2 armor, and maybe even a level 3 armor piece or two as well. But it looks like we have a lot of shards, we have a decent amount of shards, and we have a decent amount of resources. So we can go and make ourselves a little bit of armor right now. So we'll at least make a full set of level 1, and we might even make a little bit of the tier 2. Let's see what we can make. Okay, so we could make we were able to make the legs tier 2. So let's go see if we can either find a monster or a demi-boss. And we'll keep collecting a couple more resources, maybe one more of each resource, so we can still make some slightly better armor to take the boss down with. But it looks like we're not finding any good monster spawns. So we're just going to see if we can take down a demi-boss and at least get one weapon frame. So it's going to be a little unlucky. There's a demi-boss right now, and we're just going to have to take it down with our little scepter. So it's going to take a little while to take this guy down. But time isn't really the issue that we're going to be facing in this combat achievement. As a matter of fact, the hard part about this combat achievement is that the boss is going to take a little bit longer than we're used to, because we're not going to have one of those perfected weapons to take him down with. So our DPS is going to be pretty low. But that's why we're going to want to be focusing most about our time on getting a full inventory of fish, as well as the best armor that we can make within the amount of time that we have left. And it's going to depend a little bit on room RNG, but we can see in that room just behind us, we already have a lot of fish. So we're going to be able to fill up our inventory with food pretty quickly and easily. But we're really going to need to find another set of weapon frames even after we take this guy down. So we are going to have to go monster hunting once we take down the demi-boss. But we see as he goes down, he's going to give us a weapon frame and a couple shards. So let's see what we get. So we've got 70 shards and the weapon frame, and we're not going to need the orb. So let's go get some more fish, and it looks like right now we could definitely be using at least another rock and another poof ball, and that will allow us to get a pretty decent set of armor to take the boss down with. And we're still going to be killing minions because we need to be looking for at least one more weapon frame. But let's grab that leaf, that herb, so we can start making our potions pretty soon here. And we're going to grab this, we're going to see if we can get another round of monsters. So we really need monsters. We're getting plenty of fish. And we're getting really, really unlucky with the monsters. But there's our final poop ball. So we can go and get that. And that's going to finish up our armor set right here. So that'll be enough armor hunting. And we have more than enough pools at this point to finish up our fish. So let's go and empty out our inventory up, and we're going to go make some armor. So we'll make at least a full set of tier 2, and we might even be able to make a tier 3 item as well. Oh, we're kind of running low on shards, but we should be able to get some of those as we're doing our fishing and as we're still killing monsters, and at least we finally have a tier 2 weapon. So this will be our final rock, and we'll be able to drop our pickaxe after this to open up our final, as much inventory spaces as we can hold, so we can start getting all those fish. And we're still getting really, really unlucky with those monster spawns, which kind of sucks. It's eating up our time. But luckily, like I said, time isn't really our big factor here. At least we have one weapon, and we can start doing our fishing if we get lucky with one of the weapon frames. And we're still not getting one of those weapon frames, so we really need to be looking for one of those monsters right now, because our time is starting to run a little bit low. We got about 2.5 minutes left, and hopefully this rat right here can drop us the weapon frame that we need, because it's really the only thing that we have left before we can finish up our inventory with fish. And there it is. There's our weapon frame, so we'll hurry up and teleport back to the center so we stop wasting too much time. And we'll make one more weapon, so we're going to make that level 2 bow, and we'll finish up all of the resources that we have in our inventory by making a level 3 chest as well. And at this point, we can start making, or start getting all of our food that we're going to need for the boss fight. And because we have decent armor, we don't necessarily need a full inventory of fish, but it will be helpful, especially in case we're going to be making some mistakes, because mistakes do happen. Maybe a tornado hits us, maybe we accidentally get hit by one of the pools, or the ground tiles, I should say. But let's make those vials really quick, and then we can start filling them up, opening up our inventory, and getting those last few fish. So there we go. We got our 2 potions, and that'll be enough to take the boss down. And we can just get the last bit of fish that we need, and we should be able to, with this inventory, fill our entire inventory up with supplies. So we'll drop these leftover shards. We're not going to need them anymore. And we can grab 2 more fish, drop that harpoon, and pick up that last fish. And now we have a completely full inventory. And even with that really bad RNG of not finding the monster spawns that we were looking for, hopefully early on, we still had a full minute left, more than a full minute, to be able to prep our food and take down, and get ready to enter the boss's chamber. But our inventory is looking really good right now, so we can actually get our prayer completely healed up by just sipping 1 dose. And we're going to enter the boss pretty much as good as we can go. All we need to do is beat him in the time limit before our prayer runs out. That's really our only limiting factor at this point, is take him down before we run completely out of prayer. And it really shouldn't be too big of a deal, so we should be able to just keep our offensive prayers on, regardless of what offensive prayers you have. So you can use Rigor or Augury, or you can use Eagle Eye, or the other tier magic spell, the tier 3 magic spell. Prayer, I should say. But yeah, even when we have this, even when we have these low-tiered weapons, as long as we have that high-tiered armor, we're still going to be doing pretty decent DPS to him. And luckily, his attacks aren't going to be doing much at all, so food isn't really going to be the problem when we're taking down the boss. We can really eat whenever we want. We can wait until our HP gets a little bit low, or if we want to be safe because we're worried about making a potential mistake, we can just eat whenever we feel comfortable. Whenever we're not feeling too overwhelmed by either ground tiles or tornadoes or anything like that. So let's get our HP up a little bit, and we can just get back onto taking down the boss. Really, once you've made it this far and you have a nice, fully stocked inventory, the only thing holding you back at this point is just making sure that you don't make too many mistakes at the boss, and just taking him down before your prayer runs completely out, which really isn't going to be too bad of an issue either. Like I've said before, our armor is really going to help up our DPS when we take down the boss. So making that set of at least tier 2, at least a full set of tier 2 armor, and if you can make a piece or 2 of the tier 3 armor as well, it's only going to help you out. So if you accidentally get hit by one of the tornadoes or something, don't just panic, right? We have plenty of supplies, plenty of inventory to be able to take him down. So just heal when you feel like it. Don't accidentally let your prayer get too low. You don't really need to be too conservative with anything as long as you have pretty high level mage in range, you're going to be good to take this guy down. But it is a slightly longer fight than what we're used to when we take down the Corrupt Gauntless. So really, we're going to want to make sure that we're pretty good at dodging tornadoes, pretty good at dodging ground tiles. And you can see our HP is getting really low right now, so it's probably time to just get it all the way filled back up. And that way we don't need to worry about making mistakes. I think we got hit by a tornado right there. Which wasn't the end of the world because we weren't letting our HP get too low. But yeah, if you're worried about getting hit by any of those tornadoes, don't let your HP really get below like 30 or 40. Just kind of keep it high. The DPS loss isn't really a big issue. We have more than enough supplies to actually get through the boss. We just need to actually perform and do it. But he's getting close to that phase 3 where he's going to enter what we can call the enrage phase. Where things are going to get a little more hectic, but it looks like we still have one full potion. We have an absolutely full potion, and we have plenty of fish, so there's really no point in saving our supplies. We can use as much as we need to get back to the point where we feel comfortable. And I personally like entering phase 3 with pretty high HP, pretty high prayer, because if things do get do get a little hectic, the last thing you want is for your prayer to accidentally drop because you weren't paying attention to your prayer points. But it looks like he's about to enter phase 3 right now, and this is where things are going to get a little spicier. But it shouldn't be too bad, especially if we've done the Corrupted Gauntlet multiple times before. This probably isn't the kind of achievement that you want to do after you just have a couple KC on the Corrupted Gauntlet. But once you have a little bit of practice, it's really not too bad to do this achievement. There's definitely harder ones. In my opinion, killing him with no armor is definitely harder than this combat achievement. So this is a pretty easy master level task combat achievement. But we did kind of get cornered right there, but it ended up getting the perfect timing right where that ground tile changed at the very last second. So try not to get cornered. Again, if your health gets low, just get it back up and full. Our prayer is looking fine. He's only got about 250 health left, so there's really no need for no reason why our prayer would be dropping all the way to 0. We should just be able to take him down as long as we don't make too many mistakes regarding tornadoes or ground tiles, and the boss is going to go down pretty soon here. He's only got 200 health left. Looks like he's a little below 200 health. Just watch your footwork. Don't panic. It's going to be a long phase 3, which is probably the worst part about this combat achievement, is just how long this phase 3 is going to last. But as long as you keep your cool and make sure to eat and don't let your HP get too low, you're still allowed to make mistakes. This doesn't have to be a perfect kill whatsoever, especially because it's just going to take so long to take him down. But he's getting pretty low here. He's only got about 150 health left. And we have more than enough food to be able to take him down. Looks like our prayer is still doing really well as well. But yeah, it looks like those offensive prayers really are going to help a lot with this. You're not going to need to worry about your prayer points dropping too low. So as long as you've made 2 of those prayer potions, just keep your offensive prayers on. It's definitely going to speed things up significantly. As well as give yourself a little bit of a defense boost as well. So he's only got 30 health left. He should be going down here any second now. We just need to put our mage gear back on and get those last couple hits off. And we are about to get the Wolf Puncher 2 combat achievement. So yeah, just as some closing statements, you can see obviously from this fight that the hard part of this achievement is just how long the boss fight is going to take. It's definitely a longer boss fight than what we're used to. And we're going to have to be dodging a lot of tornadoes and a lot of ground tiles. So make sure to eat whenever you feel comfortable. You're not going to be risking your food running dry as long as you made a pretty full inventory of food and as long as you're not making too many mistakes regarding the tornadoes and the ground tiles. But that's it. That's Wolf Puncher 2. And yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you see what kind of gear and inventory you're going to want to create during the harvesting portion of the gauntlet. And good luck on your combat achievement. This will net you 5 more points toward your master hilt. And we're almost done with the gauntlet, guys. Almost done with the corrupted gauntlet. So I will see you boys in the next one. Good luck, have fun, and peace out.